You know what you have to do with bullies, right? You gotta fight back. You gotta punch back. You gotta call their bluff. When they threaten you, when they attack you, you stand up for yourself. You let them know that they are wrong, and you let them know that you are not scared. Trump's bluff got called, and he looks like a complete and utter fool. Hat tip to California Governor Gavin Newsom, who I had on the MeidasTouch network yesterday, because he said to Donald Trump and Tom Homan, he said to Donald Trump, and that's my Tom Homan impression. You could go watch the podcast. I did, well, Tom Homan, I'm going to go after you. I mean, I hate AOC. That's my Tom Homan impression. But Homan, I'll stop doing it. Homan and Donald Trump were like, we're going to arrest Gavin Newsom. We're going after you. And Gavin Newsom, you know what he said? Arrest me. Just do it to my face. Get over here right now. I'm going to call your bluff. You want to arrest me? Let's go. And Donald Trump, coward that he is, was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And Tom Homan was like, oh, we never said that. I never said that I was actually going to arrest Governor Newsom. We never said that. Where would you get that idea from? Well, we have the receipts, you morons. And I'm not afraid to call you morons, because that's what you are. I'm not afraid of you, Tom Homan. You huff and you puff. And at the end of the day, though, you are creepy cowards who deep down inside are weak and pathetic, vile human beings. So let's take a look at the receipts. Here is Tom Homan. He goes on CNN last night. We all know, right? They've all been saying, we're going to arrest Newsom. We're going to arrest Newsom. But here you have Tom Homan when asked, so are you going to arrest Newsom? Are you going to get an arrest warrant? And Tom Homan, the border czar, who's in the Trump regime, like, no, not at this time. We're not going to do that. Here, play this clip.
The president told reporters earlier that if he were you, he would have the governor of California arrested. Can you just clarify where that stands and if that is something that you personally are advocating for?
No, like I did an interview yesterday with NBC reporter here's the conversation was, as you and I talked about many times, you can protest if you want. You have that First Amendment right. But when you cross the line of putting your hands on a ICE officer, impeding our enforcement operations, knowingly harboring, concealing illegal alien, that's a crime. And I said last night, they can protest all they want, but they cross that line, we'll seek prosecution. And last count, we had just about 50 protesters been arrested, criminally being prosecuted for violating the law. And when I reported asked me, would that include politicians like Mayor Bass or Governor Meiselas? I said, well, of course. It includes anybody that commits a crime.
But Governor Newsom has not done anything to warrant an arrest in your view right now, correct?
I don't see him.
Not at this time, absolutely not.
You stand up to bullies, and that's what happened. And then Tom Homan goes on a state regime media known as Fox. And he tells Jesse Waters, propagandist Jesse Waters, he goes, yeah, nobody threatened to arrest him. Nobody's ever said that we're going to actually go after Gavin Newsom. If he crosses the line, maybe, but we're not going to arrest him. Here, play this clip.
They prosecuted President Trump. No one's above the law. That's what they said. Either is the Governor Newsom. If he crosses that line, we'll simply ask the Attorney General to seek prosecution. It wasn't a threat. No one threatened to arrest him. But if he crosses that line and commits a crime, he's no better than anybody else who will seek prosecution.
Okay, well, why don't we show you the receipts? Because earlier in the day, Gavin Newsom, rapid response, as Donald Trump held a disastrous press conference in the state dining room of the White House, defiling it with his presence. And Donald Trump he's asked, well, what crime are you going to arrest Gavin for? And Donald Trump says he ran for governor. That's what we're going to arrest him for. Here, play this clip.
It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, please.
Have you gotten...
What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed? I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job. What he's done to that state is like what Biden did to this country. And that's pretty bad. It's the wrong philosophy. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants, many of them prisoners. They're taking up your health care. They're taking up your space in schools. They're taking up your hospital. And in many cases, they're criminals. And we have to do something about it, and we're doing something about it. I want to thank the incredible patriots of ICE and Tom Homan, who has been incredible, and Kristi Noem, likewise incredible. The job they're doing. And it's like an unforced error. There was no reason for this. 21 million people were allowed into our country, and many of those people were criminals. And it's a shame. It's a shame, but we're getting them out. And I will say I think it's a 95-5 issue.
And then Donald Trump tries to make the case for arresting Gavin Newsom. And here's what he said. This is what he says to Peter Doocy. Here, play this clip.
It seems like Gavin Newsom likes the attention that he's getting right now from
I do.
you.
Yeah,
it seems like he does. If you look at recent history, somebody who was running for president, you, who got arrested and had a mugshot, you could make the argument that politically that wound up helping you. Are you worried at all at this moment that talking about him getting arrested could be helpful to his political prospects? Because a lot of people think he wants to be sitting right where you are.
Well, in my case, it was a witch hunt, and everybody knew it. And I was able to explain that during the process. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And it was a total witch hunt. It's proven to be a witch hunt, and you see what's happened. In his case, it really is very obvious. You look at what's happened between the fires, I could name 10 things right now. We talk about the trains. We talk about all of the costs in California. You talk about all of the people that are flowing and destroying life for everyone else. So, no, I don't think it's going to help him. I think it's actually very bad for him.
And then earlier in the day, he defiled the lawn of the White House over here just by his presence, by his filth and just disgusting aura. He's asked by Peter Doocy of State Regime Media Fox. So should ICE, should the DOJ arrest Gavin Newsom? And Donald Trump said, yeah, I would do it. I think it's a great idea. He goes, I think it's a good idea. Listen to him in his own words. Here, play this clip.
Gavin Newsom he's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows. All you have to do is look at the little railroad he's building. It's about 100 times over budget. We're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget.
And then California Governor Gavin Newsom fought back. First, this is what he said at Tom Homan. Here, play this clip.
Homan, the border czar, said to me yesterday, he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. But you know what? Let your hands off 4-year-old girls that are trying to get educated. Let your hands off these poor people who are just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes, been here 10 years. The fear, the horror, the hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Then he came on the MeidasTouch network, and here's what California Governor Newsom said. He goes, just act like a grown-up, Donald. What the hell are you doing? Here, play this clip. So what would be your message to him right now this evening?
Stand back, rescind this absurd, illegal, and immoral order. Let our military go home. The absurdity of threatening the people of the United States of America with their own military, our proud military, these remarkable men and women in uniform that do heroic work. Really proud of our Marines. I feel for them right now. I feel for our National Guard to be there in the fact that we had to send the PD, our local PD, to protect our own National Guard because they're being used as pawns. Mr. President, show some decency, show some humanity. More importantly, act like the commander-in-chief. If you want to be president, you might as well play the part as president. At least fake it. Do the right thing. Stand back, and we'll clean up your mess.
And here he tells Donald Trump, time to grow up. Let's play this clip.
I mean, it's, again, sober and serious moment. Meanwhile, can I Just add, and this is why I told the president, just get it over with. Arrest me. Move on. If you need some head to scalp, do it with me, but stop messing with these kids. Stop messing with 4-year-olds, kids in elementary school. We've got kids. We have hundreds of graduations down here. Kids are not going to their own graduations. Families, grandparents here legally, mixed status families in some cases, scared to death to go to a graduation. People are scared to walk down the streets. It's not just Home Depots, getting their car washed. We have incidences. I didn't believe it because what was I thinking? I actually believed when they said this is not true. But then I saw videos. They're doing checkpoints, checking people's IDs. We've never seen this kind of deployment in so many actions. It's mass panic out here in the nation's largest county, in the nation's largest state. Good, hardworking people, decent people. These are not the criminals. These are not the thugs.
And then one of the questions I asked Gavin Newsom, and I think it's an important one, was, Donald Trump calls you new scum and he calls you all of these names. But when I see you meet him face to face, he's scared. He doesn't say anything. And I just said to Gavin Newsom, I said, all these MAGA Republicans, they want to act like I'm an alpha, I'm a this. And I go, look, as a man, say it to my face. As a man, say it to my face, Donald. If you want to arrest me, if you want to call me new scum, look me in the eye and freaking say it, you coward. Say it, you coward. Say it. And then he doesn't do it. And that's what Gavin Newsom, you remember when Gavin Newsom was on the tarmac and looked at Donald Trump? Here's what I asked Newsom, play this clip. And what I find interesting, though, is, he'll be a keyboard warrior and he'll say, new scum this and that. But when you're face to face with him and you're in front of the cameras and you're there together, he becomes a different person. You look him in the face. I remember during the wildfires, and he was like a different person when you were there together. But back wherever he is, he's, new scum this and that. And to me, I don't know. I just look at that, just as a man, I look at Trump and I'm like, that's pathetic. If you really feel this way about this guy, about Governor Newsom, just say it to his face then. Do it in public.
Weakness masquerading as strength. Weakness masquerading as strength. Look, I had that conversation with him Friday night, just a few nights ago. It was unbelievably cordial. He never brought up the National Guard. He didn't even want to talk about what was going on in LA. That's why we were connected. I was talking to his chief of staff or texting her back and forth, and I picked up the phone to talk to the president about this. Wasn't interested. And then a few hours later, he federalizes the National Guard. He lays claim that somehow it had solved all the problems, and the Guard hadn't even officially been deployed. Completely lied about that. Lied about our conversation. Said he discussed the National Guard with me specifically. But to your point, it is a surreal experience to have that kind of interaction, and then hours later be called what I think Maurice Bignan, or I can't remember his name, my 8th grade bully, called me new scum. I mean, it's the president of the United States calling someone what an 8th grade bully called me when I was a kid. Rather pathetic.
And here was the tarmac incident back with the wildfires when Donald Trump was saying, Gavin Newsom is doing this and that and this and the other thing. And then Gavin Newsom held his hand and said, what are you going to say to my face? Say it, I'm here. You want to act like a grown-up? You want to act like a big boy, Donald? Or not? Here, play this clip. When part of acting like a big boy, Donald, is that when you do things, like when you deploy the National Guard and federalize them, you may want to make sure that they have beds and pillows and blankets and food and supplies. You have to think through, grown-ups, Donald, behave. We do a little bit of planning. We think through things. Like if you're going to federalize the National Guard for the first time, you may want to have them have beds. because Donald Trump made our National Guard sleep on the floor. He was only able to operationalize 300 of the first group of 2,000 National Guards that he federalized. Then he called another 2,000 to be federalized. And then they called to deploy 700 Marines against Americans. That make you feel all tough there, Donald? Does it make you feel all tough? Because we, the people, know what a pathetic, weak thing you are. You need your big dictator parade on June 14th to feel like a big bad dictator like Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un. The world is laughing at you, Donald. The world knows how weak and pathetic you are. They call you Taco. Trump always chickens out because you're worse than you're worse than a chicken. You huff and you puff and I'm going to do this and I'm a tough guy. You are an embarrassment. You are a stain on our nation. You and your regime, vile, despicable filth. Anyway, hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.